from the John Fredericks Media Network and the John Fredericks radio apps, and I am your Godzilla of the truth in America, coming live from Washington, D.C. Hey, guess what? Tonight, State of the Union, can't wait. I am pumped and fired up and ready to go. Now, let me give you some good news about tonight, right? We're going to be watching. We had a watch party at the Log Cabin Republicans. Ann and I going. Marcy's going. Going to have a lot of fun there. Going to get fired up. A lot of young people. And it's going to be a great speech. And it's all about the economy and tax cuts. And these tax cuts are coming. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, it's before the biggest State of the Union ever. Trump's going to make this great speech. A lot of it is on the one big beautiful bill and the tax cuts and the 2 million pages of taxes. And we just got our preliminary taxes back with the help of Julio. And I don't even want to go in to tell you the money we're saving under the one big beautiful bill in taxes. It is an incredible amount of money. Couldn't have done it without Julio, Sammy, Engineered Tax Services. There's not a better day ever in the history to get Julio Gonzalez on and American and Engineered Tax Services, tax literacy for MAGA. Julio, thanks for being with us today. Great. It's going to be a great night, Julio.
Oh my God, John, it's great to see you.
I know, man. And I tell you what, look, get your taxes done. I just have to say this before I run out of time because I'm such a believer in your company. Number one, where is it? I read your book, Why Billionaires Love the Tax Code. Ann and I read it. She read it twice. I read your book, which you can get free. All you got to do, you don't have to pay anything. You just text the number 26786 to, you text the letters ETS, Engineered Tax Services, ETS, to the number 26786 on your phone. Say I want my book, Billionaires Love the Tax Code. You get this free. You read it. Now, first I read your book, right? Then Ann was like, yeah, we got a great accountant. And I'm like, well, yeah, he's great, but, we can't read 2 million pages like Julio's peeps did. So I said, get your tax done and then send it to Julio. So she does. And Julio assigns us Sammy. Now, I love Sammy, right? Now, you might not get Sammy because he's got a lot of people. So Sammy goes through the taxes. He calls us up. He does a Zoom call, and he's like, okay, your account's great. Keep them. It's all good. But I just found out how to save you another $15,000. And we're like, what? Yep. Do this, do that, do this. I'm going to write it up, send it to your accountant and see what he says. Because, you still got your accountant. This is what we found, 2 million pages. So she sends it to him, and he's like, wow, this is brilliant. I missed that. I mean, you know what? Absolutely. Another $15,000. Boom. In my pocket. Didn't have to pay the government. Now, you tell me why somebody with no obligation and no money would not simply text 3 letters, ETS, to the number 26786. Try to explain why somebody wouldn't do that. Because there's no downside.
No downside, John. I mean, really, it's all about tax equality. And I know that 2 million pages plus the additional 200,000 pages we added last year, creates complexity. But ultimately, that's why we're here, John, is to basically be a resource to the clients, the taxpayers, the hardworking citizens of our country and their accounts. And like we did with you, right? With Sammy, we found those tax deductions, the ones you missed, 15,000, right?
Right.
And I think that was great. I mean, and right, for no cost, right? We did it for free.
Yeah, I mean, you did the assessment for free, and then when it finally hits, then you send us a bill, and it's 5 to 10% of what we saved. So, it's going to be somewhere between, somewhere between $750 and $1,500. So, am I going to pay you $1,500 to save $15,000? I mean, where do I sign that deal, dude?
John, I always think, when you're looking at taxes, right, we should be a return on investment, not an expense, right? We should be finding all these tax benefits for you. And listen, we improved the benefits substantially in May of last year, right? We took these deductions, the standard deduction we raised for everyone. We raised the child tax credit. We allowed you to be more charitable by raising those deductions in our country. Right? We didn't do the tax on tips, right? We didn't do tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. John, how do we do? My clients are getting double the refund they did last year. double. I mean, the previous administration wanted to tax you to death. They wanted to regulate you to death. We removed those things last year, John. We made this country so much better. Look how many people are getting these big refunds, and we're just started, right, John? But I think even as people understand these tax benefits that we put in 2025 last year, I think those, returns are going to go up. The refunds are going to go up and up and up, but double over what they were last year. And people are not reporting that, John. Why are we not telling that? But maybe we'll talk about that in the State of the Union tonight, how people have so much more money. John, this is, they talk about affordability all the time. Democrats talking about affordability. Well, if you have more money, because the government's not taking 50% of your income anymore, right? We're taking a lot less just with these benefits we passed last year.
Mm-hmm. Listen, you got to take advantage of this. And, what I love about your company is you said it tax equality for MAGA. And I love that because, the Democrats have been taking advantage in Wall Street and the billionaires, every tax advantage known to man, right? Every single one. And we just don't do it. And you've created this opportunity at no cost for evaluation with no downside for, MAGA voters to give them a better opportunity to be on a level playing field. And it's just an amazing thing that you've done. People don't know Julio. I mean, he spent a career as a big time accountant at a senior executive at a big time accounting firm. So what? I mean, did you just get up one day and said, "Hey, screw this! I'm making all this money, but I'm not really helping the little guy"?
Yeah, I felt that way. I felt that way from 1980 to 2001 that I was helping so many Americans, but I was really helping the Fortune 500, right? And, the big corporations, the private equity firms. And I wanted to bring that tax equality to everyone in our country, right? Because how do we get votes as Republican Party if we have all these benefits, but we can't take advantage of them? And I saw that gap, right? So we had to shorten that gap. We had to make it closer so that all the hardworking Americans were getting these tax benefits. And it is complicated, right? And in some ways, John, in that bill last year, we uncomplicated it, right? We just raised all these deductions. Remember, we quadrupled SALT deductions, right? So people can also take $40,000 against state income taxes against federal taxes. So we did a lot of things, but right.
So explain that for the people that live like in a blue state, or like I live in the district, which is very high. It's like a state tax. So explain how the 40,000 works.
Yeah, so you pay $40,000 in state taxes, whether it's property, income taxes, all kinds of taxes. That state and DC taxes you to death, right? So, I mean, it's hard to live there, right? And even retain any earnings. But like now we put that up to $40,000. We moved it from $10,000 to $40,000. So you're paying all these taxes, and we're taking it off on the federal side. Now, John, I'm not a huge fan of that, right? But we did do it so that more people, hardworking people, had some benefits at the federal side, and that's a big benefit. So now you're getting 30,000 more in tax deductions. That's got to help, right? With the standard deduction going up, the child tax credits, have children, right? Because that went up, right? So we should have more children. And anyway, all these benefits, being more charitable, we took that up to $2,200, John, and we took the SALT up, state and local taxes up to $40,000.
So that means that if you live in one of these high tax states, right? So if you pay, let's say you paid $50,000, like or up to 40,000 in state and local taxes, right? So you paid up to $40,000. Well, then when you go to your return, if your federal tax rate of tax, you take the 40,000 becomes a deduction, right? So that's going to take your federal tax down, which is going to ease the tax bite you got in the bigger blue state or in the district where I live, right?
That's right. These are massive increases. That's why, John, their refunds they're doubling. I see the articles where it's going up $800, $400, $1,000. That's not true. Like, I'm doing the returns. They doubled.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's big. And I hope that's mentioned tonight, John, because I think that's one of the biggest things we got accomplished. John, I was working on that tax bill with Congress, with Senate, with the House, and we're just trying to thread that needle on how we could bring back more benefits to our country. And remember, John, not one Democrat voted for this tax bill. Not one.
That's right. That's right.
Not one of them.
Mhm.
So why would they not want all Americans to have more money in their pockets? Why did they want to take more money to give it to them so they could waste it? Because we see
No,
that.
so they can
Right?
they can spend it on illegals, getting luxury hotels and getting food and getting health care for free. And while average working Americans suffer, that's why. So in DC, let me tell you what happened here, right? So
Mhm.
and I just did a piece on this I put out yesterday. So the DC Council, right? Normally they align with the federal tax code. They just align it, right? So, but the DC is all liberals here until I finally win,
Mhm.
hopefully. So it's all liberals. So what they do is they say, no, we don't want one big beautiful bill. So we're still going to tax on tips. We're still going to tax on overtime. We're still going to tax on Social Security. We're not going to do any of that, right? So they basically told workers here in the district, service workers, screw you. You got to pay your tax on tips, overtime, and everything else. Then the Senate and the Congress, the House, jumped in and said, no, you're not going to do that. We have the ability. We're going to override that. And with Democrat votes on both sides of both chambers, they overruled the city council and said, no, we're going to have the one big beautiful bill here. So you're not going to get tax on tips, et cetera. And like, that is, like I just talked to a server yesterday. I took Ann out for dinner and the guy's like, I'm getting a $5,500 refund from the federal government. I'm getting another $750 from the district because of what Congress did. So it's incredible what has gone on here.
It's incredible. I mean, John, I just think we made so many, and we made it permanent, John. So now people wake up every year on New Year's Day and the same tax code, right? They made it permanent. That's so hard to do because, John, we're always waking up every year to a new tax code.
Right.
This is permanent for all these individuals. It's going to take a hard path for anyone to override this. So ultimately, I think what we did was great. Listen, the Supreme Court came out and said, hey, we can't do the tariffs. The tariffs were to bring back jobs to our country. Yeah, maybe it's a sales tax, but why wouldn't we put a sales tax on other countries, right? Why don't we level the playing field? And, we just want to bring jobs back to our country. I don't know what they're thinking over there in the Supreme Court.
Here's what I want everybody to do because you have nothing to lose and time is running out and not a better time now. Just text 3 words ETS, Engineer Tax Services, to the number 26786. That's it. Just put 26786 in the top of your phone. Text ETS. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a free book. It's free. Why Billionaires Love the Tax Code by Julio Gonzalez. Read it. And then it's a great read and it'll teach you a lot. And then they're going to contact you and all you got to do, they'll sign you with a accountant. You send them your taxes right before. Just don't file them. Send them, and then they'll look it over and they're going to come back with 2 things: we can save you money, or your taxes are perfect. If they say your taxes are perfect, you sleep better. Costs you nothing. If you say we can save you $5,000, here's what it is. You take that back to your accountant or yourself, and you take advantage of it, and then you pay them 5 to 10%. What on earth do you have to lose? It's like the greatest deal in history, dude. Julio, come on, man. ETS 26786. Tonight's going to be great, Julio. And you were at the front lines of this tax code. I know you were advising the administration. You were at the table, and it's going to be great. So thanks for being with us, and thanks for what you're doing. And thanks for helping MAGA people level the playing field. Thank you, Julio.
My pleasure. Thank you, John.
All right. John Fredericks Media Network. Coming up next, Michael Patrick Leahy